Do y'all get intrusive thoughts? Like when you're walking on the sidewalk and a car's coming and there's a random voice in your head that's like,
If you don't pass that fire hydrant, by the time that car passes you, you're gonna die! You're gonna die!
I get those, but like on steroids. It's like there's a funny little character that follows me around. We'll call him Mr. Silly. And every day, Mr. Silly injects 50 intrusive hypothetical situations directly into my brain at inconvenient times. It's so funny. I love it. For example, whenever I'm in a public gathering holding any sort of fragile or spillable object, Mr. Silly will be like,
Hey, what if you drop that? What if you drop that right now?
and I'm like, Mr. Silly, you're so funny. Why would I do that? And then Mr. Silly will proceed to perfectly calculate what would happen if I did do that, including the exact reactions of everyone to a horrifyingly realistic degree. Like, I'd be apologizing, and then the host would be like, oh, don't worry about it, it's fine. And then internally I'd be like,
Bad Dobby! Bad Dobby!
and meanwhile, I'm just standing there like, and maybe it's some kind of evolutionary trait for the human mind to try and come up with possible scenarios in order to plan ahead. And you know what? That checks out. But then there's the intrusive thoughts that just don't even pretend to make any semblance of sense at all. Like, Mr. Silly will be like,
Actually, forget the drink. What if you started attacking that guy and yelling slurs at the top of your lungs right now? And then airdrop live leak gore videos to everyone!
wow, Mr. Silly. How fascinating. Thank you for pondering this extremely likely scenario. When I was younger, I developed this fear that everyone was actually aliens except me. And if I ever brought it up to them, they'd all immediately pull off their human skin suits and be like,
Yes, we are aliens.
I think that was around the same time that Mr. Silly came up with this fun little challenge for me to do every night, where I used to recite this extremely long and precisely worded script that I made up, and it took like 15 minutes to complete. And then I'd get up like 5 times in a row to drink exactly 5 gulps of water from the bathroom sink, because I thought if I didn't do that, like, the sun would explode or something. I mean, this is completely normal though. Like, everyone does that. Recently, I told my friend about that, and they were like, please see a doctor. This is textbook OCD behavior. And I was like, this whole topic gets me thinking about metacognition. Like, how are we able to think about our thoughts? Like, what are thoughts? You ever think about that? What are thoughts? Where do they come from? They're like little fairies. They're like, there's nothing worse than the feeling of being trapped inside your own mind. There's literally nowhere to run. I mean, well, other than the various distractions corporations have conveniently invented for the exact purpose of externalizing our attention. Wow, that's great. I love that. You gotta love that. You gotta love that. Sometimes I'm sitting here like, man, am I evil? I guess everyone has terrible thoughts sometimes, but here's the question. Which is our true self? Is it our most honest and unfiltered thoughts? Or is it who we choose to be and how we choose to act? Is it really the thin barrier between thought and action that determines who we are? I'll let you know as soon as I escape from this alien prison.